So I want to state that this part of the project was recorded much later on because the fact that right now I'm putting together the project and I'm want to include like just some background information on like why I chose to go with the burger, which was at the time both me and my girlfriend wanted to just eat something that doesn't take that long to make. It's good, and because she found a new recipe online that she would like to try. And of course, I'm a good boyfriend, so I was like, might as well just do it. Um, Kill two birds with one stone. Make a burger and, enjoy a nice dinner. So the plan is we're gonna make burgers and we're going to HEB because we're in Texas and here everything is better. Okay, so right here, me and my girlfriend just walked into the HEB on 5225 Buffalo Speedway because we were coming from the Galleria and we were like, oh, we don't have nothing to eat for dinner, so we're gonna make burgers. And I told her I had this project I had to do, and she was like, great, might as well just knock it out. How much are they? Dang, I don't know how much is this.
Only $1.48.
She was not open. You did not open this well.
I did, you just suck at this.
No, you just did not open it well. I don't know why you're doing it like this.
It's smoother than you.
No, I'm saying like I don't see the point of recording us moving like going like. So right here in this clip, I ended up getting some Roman tomatoes for the burger, which cost us 0.45 cents per pound. And as you see, the label on in the store was wrong because on the receipts, yeah, it says 0.45 per pound, which ended up costing us 88 cents because we got 2 tomatoes. So for here, we're getting the Roma tomatoes, which is 98 cents a pound. So in this next clip, we're walking to the butcher aisle, where we're gonna pick up some organic grass-fed ground beef because my girlfriend wants. So here we're getting grass-fed ground beef, and we're doing a higher percentage of fat because we don't want the burgers to be dry. So when you're making burgers, right, no one wants to make a patty that is dry. Like we want like a good patty should have some decent amount of fat in it. Therefore, when we got our ground beef, we select a high percentage of fat because at the end of the day, once you start cooking the patty, some of the fat's gonna come out, and we're trying to get as much of it retained as possible. So right here, we're walking to the cheese aisle to select our cheese. Here we're getting the Kobe Monterey Jack cheese. It's HEB brand, but it's cheaper and we don't really need that many slices of cheese for our burgers. We're in the bread aisle and we're getting the Pepper Ridge Farm golden potato buns because they're more round and they have a bounce to it, and because we just want to try something new that's unique pretty much.
Really have barbecue.
I would get spicy ketchup, but we already have some at home, the Whataburger brand, and it's at $2.25 for a 20-ounce bar. So this is about a month and a half after I initially started the project too. and it's kind of cool because I can see like changes in just my haircut and like my face, and I just found that really cool. But since this clip is about to be added in the middle of the video, I just want to recap on the grocery list so far. So far we bought 2 Roma tomatoes that ended up being 88 cents. We bought green leaf lettuce for $1.48, and we bought some organic grass-fed ground beef for $5.99. And then we stopped at the bread aisle and we picked up the golden potato hamburger bread for $2.78. And that's our list thus far. So right here we began walking through the dairy and frozen aisle, where I picked up some just essential items such as almond milk, and then we browsed through the ice cream aisle where we were planning to pick up our desserts for the night. Ice cream. So for ice cream, we were actually struggling to decide what dessert to get, but we're gonna get the churro one, which is $1.97, and then I'm gonna get me a strawberry shortcake. So in this part of the clip, I walked through the snack aisle and picked up some Ritz, which had nothing to do with the project. It was just some food snacks I wanted at home. And then I continued walking to the cereal aisle and picked up some mini wheats. Yeah, the strawberry mini wheats, and those were also non-essential to the project. So for the next part of this video, I had turned off my camera because there's a lot of people by the checkout station that I didn't want to bother because, we don't want to record people without their approval. So I just cut it to when I had started checking out the items and placing them in the bags. So after checking out the food, our total ended up being $26.48. And because I bought some of the items using HEB brand, we managed to save 21 cents. And if we didn't include the extra purchases that didn't have to do with the project, we probably would have saved roughly $9 to $10. Yeah. And we purchased a total of 10 items. So the HEB grocery haul was a success, and now we're getting ready to prep for the burgers. First, I'm gonna wash the lettuce. I should probably cut to it after being clean. I washed the lettuce. I realized that I keep putting my camera phone down. Yeah. Then we wash our tomato. Now we cut the tomatoes. Oh, very nice. So you can see right now she's removing the seeds on the tomatoes so that it could be cleaner, and you could lose some pretty much the seeds and the sticky residue within the tomatoes. Very nice. Next up, it's time to unpack and season our ground beef with ground pepper, salt, garlic powder, and paprika. I said that to annoy you. Garlic powder. Some paprika. And some ground pepper. And then lastly, we're gonna crack an egg. Now we've cut up our onion. Okay, so when we're cutting our onion, we're cutting the stems and the roots. And we're gonna make sure we cut them into long strips so that we can make our caramelized onions. Next up, it's time to mix the ground beef and the seasoning together so that we can make our patties. I'm trying my best to go really in there so I can mix the eggs up. And it's really weird to do this with one arm. With how much ground beef we have, we're trying to make at least 4 patties for our burger dish. For our patties, we're just gonna be mixing the ground beef into balls, and then we're just gonna smash them right onto the pan, and it's gonna form our patties. Ended up having too much ground beef, so we ended up making 5 patties. Next up, I'm gonna spread some butter on our buns because we just want that buttery flavor. Afterwards, we're just gonna throw the buns inside the oven and let the butter spread throughout the buns. We're toasting the buns because it'd be quicker than just letting it heat up on a frying pan. And I guess I'm gonna just turn it on right now. We're using a cast iron because it's hotter and we want the burgers to really crust up and brown. But first we're gonna cook the caramelized onion so that it doesn't get stuck to the burnt beef. I forgot to mention that we're using olive oil for our oils for the food because olive oil has more flavor, and who doesn't want to use olive oil over regular oil? Once you start seeing steam on the cast iron, you know that you're ready to start cooking. So you're gonna throw on the onions and slowly add sugar. So midway through, I realized that I had brought my tripod, which I originally used to record myself working out. And so I was like, oh, this is perfect for recording the cooking from the side view instead of having me hold my phone or having my girlfriend hold my phone. And doing it this way just made it a lot easier. Next up, we're making bacon so that we can use the grease from the bacon to instead of using oil for our patties. So the reason why we're using the oils from the bacon opposed to just adding on more oil was because it will allow the pork flavor to absorb into the patties. Also, I forgot to mention that we're using pork bacon, and this was something my girlfriend had left over at her house, and we did not buy this in the store, but these are the HEB brand pork bacon. So I'll make sure to, I guess, find the pricing online and add it to the total. We ended up having an extra piece of bacon left over, so we just decided to throw that in too. And now we're gonna start cooking the patties. Put them in, and then we'll smush them down so they can flatten up. Most of the patties will shrink just from the heat. And what we're doing is we're gonna cook it closer to medium well, because ground beef tends to have more bacteria than your average steak. So the reason why we're deciding to squish down the patties is to make them thinner and easier for them to cook through thoroughly. Because if we have a thick patty, there's a chance that it won't cook through completely, and some parts of the patty will still be raw. Okay, so to know when to flip, we're basically just looking for the edges or the corners, and we're just looking for browning. And for that burger, well, for that patty, it's already starting to brown up really well. So we're just gonna flip it right now, and we're gonna throw on some cheese. Basically, we just want to throw in our cheese early so that the cheese got time to melt without the burger burning. Now we flip the other ones. And add on some cheese. Once the cheese starts melting thoroughly around the patty, we're just gonna take it off and set it aside, and we'll start cooking up the next patty. Simple, pretty straightforward. There you go. So right here, we're basically just cooking the remainder of the patties, and I know we're not gonna finish eating all of the patties, so we're probably gonna keep them as leftovers for the next day or so. But yeah, now that we're done cooking the patties and just prepping everything, we're just pretty much ready to assemble the burger. I'm hungry. So right here, I time-lapsed the part where me and my girlfriend's putting together our burger with the potato buns, the lettuce, the Roma tomatoes, the bacon, and the grilled onions. Both me and my girlfriend assembled our burgers already. I double stacked mine, that's why it's kind of falling apart. But she single stacked hers and it looks way better than mine's, but which one tastes better? And lastly, we're just gonna pair our burger with some Gold Peak sweet tea. Yeah, and that will be our dinner tonight. This is the final product of our potato buns, grass-fed ground beef, aroma tomatoes, and some onions and lettuce. Looks pretty nice. I think we did a good job. And I guess time to dig in and enjoy. Originally, we were planning to eat the ice cream, but what happened was the burger was too filling. So instead, now we're just gonna relax and just call it a night because it's way too filling. So yesterday, after eating the burger, we were both really filled, so we couldn't enjoy the dessert, the sundaes. So instead, we can eat it today. Yay. I have strawberry shortcake by Blue Bunny, and she has churros also by Blue Bunny.